Hey guys, I am back. I want to say sorry about the lighting right now. My laptop is close to the window as possible, so there's some kind of light on me, but it's a little bit later in the evening, but I wanted to make sure I did this video. It's a quick video. Someone sent me a message asking about protein and building muscle for glutes, and I just wanted to go over this quickly to let you know how easy it is to get protein when you're eating plant-based. Now, I was really annoyed because I went into GNC the other day, and apparently they're not like pushing their vitamin as much as protein now. So one of her things was, she told me that most people are not getting enough protein, which is an absolute lie. That is not true. It is more the other way around. Most people are getting way too much protein, and it can affect your kidneys to consuming too much protein. And if you're eating a whole foods diet, it is very unlikely that you're not going to get enough protein unless you are calorie deficient or you have some kind of medical issue. Otherwise, if you're eating whole foods, which if you want to be healthy, you don't want to be eating processed foods anyways, you're probably going to be good with protein. Just a reminder, and I have it written down so I wouldn't forget, women are recommended to have about 46 grams of protein on average, and men are recommended to get 56. And I always say with these recommendations, this is more of like a buffer, so they always add on. And I'm going to do another video about some science about how much protein we actually need. A couple quick facts. Like I said, most people get too much protein, and too much protein can destroy your kidneys, and there's a lot of kidney disease and a lot of kidney issues. So you want to be careful. You don't want to just be taking protein supplements and bars and killing it on the protein. Extra protein will not build more muscle. So building muscle, it happens in the gym. You go in there, you break down that muscle, you tear it down by lifting heavy weights, and then you recover it. That is where you're going to be putting on and building more muscles, by lifting harder. Consuming enough protein. Obviously, if you're protein deficient, that might be an issue, but again, most people aren't. So if you consume above and beyond your protein needs, you're not going to build more muscle. You're just going to be either making yourself sick or consuming more calories and fat than you need to be. And like I said, most people aren't going to actually need a protein supplement unless you are eating a very highly processed diet. So I took down some notes about some protein, how you can get your protein. So I took it about 200 calories of each thing just to kind of even it out. Brown rice, if you consume about 200 calories of brown rice, you're going to get 5 grams of protein in those 200 calories. So if you consumed, say you're recommended to eat 2,000 calories of 2,000 calories a day. If you ate nothing but brown rice, a plant, nothing but brown rice, you are going to get all of the protein you need grams wise. So you'd get about 50 grams of protein. If you eat nothing but black beans, so black beans, about 200 calories of black beans has 15 grams of protein, 15 grams. So that is actually quite a bit. So if I put in here, it's 150. So if you ate nothing but, if you're eating a 2,000 calorie diet and you ate nothing but black beans, you get 150. So that's 3 times the amount of protein that you need, which is way more than you need, obviously. Oatmeal, 8 grams of protein. So again, if you had 200 calories of oatmeal, you'd get 8 grams of protein. But if you ate nothing but oatmeal, and I'm just showing you that you don't need to eat red meats and chicken and all the dairy, eggs. You don't need to. There's plenty of plant proteins. 200 times 10 is going to equal that 2,000. You'd get 80 grams of protein. So if you eat nothing but oatmeal, you would still be okay. So it's just showing you that whole foods, if you eat whole foods, you're going to get plenty of protein. Broccoli, here's another one. 200 calories of broccoli is going to have 17 grams of protein. 17 grams. So again, you take 17, and this is, I'm doing this for women because it's just an easy math, right? So 17 times 10 is 100. You get 117 grams of protein. Now, who is going to eat 200 calories of broccoli? Probably not a lot of people, because it's a lot of food. But you have to think that's also a positive thing. Like if you're eating plant foods, to consume that many calories, you have to eat a lot of food. So if you're someone who's trying to lose weight, you don't have to worry about portion size so much because you can eat a lot of food. You'll get just enough calories and you can get your protein needs. I'm just going to go through a couple more that are known for high protein. So quinoa, again, 8 grams of protein for about 200 calories. This is the same as the oatmeal. Chickpeas, 12 grams of protein per 200 calories. So again, you times that by 10, you get way more protein than you need for the whole day. Spaghetti, even whole wheat spaghetti has 9 grams of protein. So 9 grams of protein for 200 calories, that's a lot. So if you decided, I'm going on a spaghetti diet, I'm gonna eat nothing but spaghetti. So 2,000 calories of spaghetti in that day, you take 9 times 10, you get 90 grams of protein for a female. That's twice as much as you actually need. Bananas even have 3 grams of protein. So even if you don't have to just eat high protein foods to get protein, if you, like me, and you eat, I don't know, 10 bananas in a day, you're gonna get 30 grams of protein. That is really close to, all of my protein needs. It's about 60% in just bananas, in one meal of bananas. So strawberries, 5 grams of protein just in strawberries. So 200 calories. Yeah, 200 calories might be a lot of strawberries, but if you want to stay lean and you want to make sure you're getting enough protein, why not eat 200 calories of strawberries and get 5 grams? Even lettuce. So yeah, lettuce doesn't have a lot of calories, but if you were to eat 200 calories of lettuce, you'd get 15 grams of protein. Whole foods. You got to think in your day. You got to think the whole day. Don't think about eating one food to get one nutrient. Just think about eating whole foods, and you got to think about the package that this protein comes in. You don't want to eat something just because it has a lot of protein. Eat whole foods that have a lot of good qualities, that are high in fiber, low in calories, high in antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, and that are filling. And that's how you should be looking at your food. So don't be eating food just to get a whole bunch of protein because it's not really necessary. I will do another video later on about what our protein needs really are and what the data really says, because you have to be really careful, because even when I'm looking through different studies like through Harvard and whatnot, you kind of look through it and you realize that these studies are being subsidized by like beef and dairy and egg industries who profit from telling you to eat more protein, just like GNC profits by telling its customers when they walk in that most people aren't getting enough protein, which just isn't true. Most people are getting too much protein in America, and if you're eating whole foods and not these processed packaged crap, you are going to be getting your protein needs. I mean, hell, I could almost get all my protein needs just from a banana. Just eat whole foods and you're going to get there, I promise. Alright guys, hopefully you find that helpful. If you have any questions about protein, let me know. And based on my other video, apparently I am an introvert, and that is why I like to hang out all by myself. That is all I have to say. I hope you guys have a really good day, and I will come back with another video, hopefully when it's a little bit lighter out, so the lighting isn't so crappy. Alright guys, this is Mel. I'll talk to you later. Peace out.